Okay.
Yes.
We got that on camera, right? We got that recorded?
This is all hypothetical.
It was yes to the billion, not to the answer. But
Hello, welcome to another edition of Popcorn Bucket List here. And, I couldn't tell if you were rock climbing or just kind of jamming out there a little bit.
it was rock climbing, and then went to the exercise thing where you do the because it's the Olympics.
Okay. Oh, yeah, perfect. That works.
Yeah.
That works. Yeah, that works. I found that Eddie the Eagle poster when I was looking earlier. I was like, I don't know what the second poster is going to be. I was like, shoot, we had a Winter Olympics poster this whole time. Should have had that up for a while here. But
Eddie the Eagle.
Yeah, Eddie the Eagle, good one. Don't really have much of an intro for this one here, at least not one planned out here. I guess we can kind of start off the show here a little bit, just saying a little something about Robert Duvall. At the time of this recording, he passed away yesterday, so Monday of this week and everything like that. I think it's no surprise that probably my first introduction to him was Days of Thunder, obviously a racing movie. Mm-hmm. I'm curious, what was your first memory or first movie you remember seeing him in?
That's a good question.
I mean, for a lot of people, it probably would have been Godfather, but I feel like, for our generations, I feel like for my generation, even though I am just a motorsports fan in general, I feel like it would be Days of Thunder for a lot of people. But
yeah, I would say my first real introduction to him, where I knew who he was, would have probably been Jack Reacher, because it was like, oh, hey, I recognize that guy. But yeah, I would say one of the first ones was probably Apocalypse Now.
That's another one for a lot of people.
Deep Impact.
Mm-hmm.
So I saw those pretty early.
But yeah, we saw that earlier this week. He's been in some pretty iconic films, and obviously, so thought we should quickly mention that one here. But let's move on to the opening spotlight here and do another career retrospective here. It's been a minute since I think we've done a little bit of a deep dive on a certain actor, director, or whatever here. And with this weekend being the premiere of Glen Powell's latest movie, How to Make a Killing, since it looks like this guy isn't going anywhere anytime soon.
Hopefully this movie's better than his last one.
Yeah, Running Man wasn't too great. I feel like
one before that.
What was the one before that?
Remembering You. Oh, yeah, never mind. Scratch out. I get him and Eastwood mixed up all the time.
And the worst part is when we watched that, you got me confused with Eastwood and Dave Franco.
Yeah.
We need like a thing behind me that's got like certain faces of people you get mixed up with every once in a while.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. They don't even look that much alike.
No, they don't. They don't.
Like at all. I can't even. I'm trying. You'd almost have a better chance of with Franco.
Yeah. I don't know why. Yeah.
I'm not even. Usually I would cut this to save you from embarrassment here, but I feel like you need to wallow in this for a minute.
Yeah, that was a bad one. I accept it.
I'm gonna put on screen here side by side of Eastwood and Glen Powell here and be like,
get pictures where they look like each other.
Can you see? No, I'm gonna find like childhood pictures where it's not even close or something like that. I don't know, but yeah, we're talking about Glen Powell here.
Yep.
Who's been in Twisters, Top Gun Maverick, all that other stuff. And he's got a new movie coming out here this weekend. So we thought we would talk a little bit about his career, a little bit of his personal life. I was doing a little bit of research of this, just kind of finding some interesting points that I think are kind of part of the whole domino effect that got us to where we are now, to this big stardom that he's at right now.
Yep.
He's very much on the rise. And, that was not an overnight thing. No. This has been quite a while in the making here. So let's talk a little bit about that. And let's just start with, born in Austin, Texas, back in 1988, born Glen Thomas Powell Jr. Turns out he's a junior, actually.
Junior.
I'm kind of surprised he dropped the junior. I feel like junior adds
Glen
something
Powell
to it.
Jr.
I don't know. I feel like junior adds to it.
Yeah, I don't know. What's his relationship with his dad?
I think, from what I read, pretty good. Okay. I think both his parents have made like cameos in a lot of his movies, reportedly.
Oh, that's cool.
But I don't know what they look like. But according to you, it looks like Clint Eastwood. So
yeah, probably Clint Eastwood out there walking around. Get off my lawn.
See, now I have to keep that in because otherwise that reference doesn't make any sense. But yeah, so he actually really started pretty young. Had multiple movie and TV roles before he even graduated high school. with the first one being Spy Kids 3D. And I want to talk about this one here because this is actually kind of an interesting story how he got to this point here. He landed the role by impressing director Robert Rodriguez, who we've talked about on this channel before.
The dog.
Yeah. What's interesting is, so initially they obviously did a lot of auditions and stuff over in LA. That's where the business is and all that sort of stuff. But they still had a few smaller roles they still had to fill in. They were going to film in Austin, Texas, which is where obviously Glenn is from here.
Yep.
And the reason why they chose Austin, Texas is because Rodriguez's studio, Troublemaker Studio, was actually built in Austin, Texas. It was actually set there.
Oh, okay.
So that's why they chose Austin. Because at first when I'm putting this together, I'm like, wait, why'd they go to Austin to fill some auditions or whatever, minor roles or whatever? But that makes more sense. And Robert Rodriguez later on said in an interview that Glen Powell stuck out to him right away. He was one of the few kids in this audition that wasn't really nervous. Yeah. And really, really impressed him. So right out of the gate there. So yeah, like I said, he lands a minor role there and gets that's essentially his first acting spot, Spy Kids 3D. But the reason why I want to bring that up is because, we talk about this industry, how you have a lot of talented people all going for this, but I don't think we talk enough about the amount of luck you need. Think about this.
Yeah.
How many things had to happen for this to land, not necessarily land in Glen Powell's lap here, but give him the chance to run the ball here? First of all, Robert Rodriguez had to have picked Austin as the city for his studio to be built in.
Yep.
Could have picked any other city in Texas. Could have put Dallas, Houston, San Antonio or whatever.
Could have been anywhere.
Yeah, anywhere in Texas. That's like one of our bigger states. So the odds were kind of stacked against him to begin with. And then he had to also just need a few more roles to be filled. And so this is something I wanted to bring up here is the thing people talk about. You can have all the talent in the world, but so much of this is luck, unfortunately, which is why it's one of the tougher industries.
It's a lot of luck and who you know and when you know them. That's a big thing.
So like I said, he does a lot of other minor TV shows, some other movie roles, all that sort of stuff, but then he does eventually decide he's going to go on to college, get an education and all that. Drops out after only 1 year. Yep. Now, it's not because he didn't enjoy it or anything like that. No, in fact, he said, and I'm quoting him here, it was the greatest year of his entire life, end quote, and yet decided, one and done.
Yeah, one and done. Well, that's like every college kid. Let's go to college, no parents, freedom, I can do what I want. Ooh, school, how much am I paying? Yeah, I'm done.
And I don't even know if it was a financial thing for him.
I don't think it was a financial thing for him.
He was a good athlete.
Yeah.
He played football and lacrosse, I think, in high school. I can't remember if he had a football scholarship going into this or whatever, but
I don't think so.
He had that option probably, but
I don't think so.
I guess Texas football especially is competitive.
Well, I would say to play college football, come on, Glenny Powell, no.
So you're saying he should have taken that route, or
I don't think he had the opportunity to take that route.
Oh, okay. Okay.
At least at that a D1 high level.
That's
school.
That's what I'm saying is college football in Texas is competitive.
Yeah.
That is a tough thing to get into there.
Yeah.
But he tries for 1 year, but I think it was like kind of right before college. One of his bigger sort of moments happens as well. He gets cast in a movie called The Great Debaters, which was produced and I think it was like starred and directed Denzel Washington. And it was during this time he got to know him a little bit, and Denzel actually hooks Glen Powell up with his agent, who convinces him to move to LA. So this is kind of what gets him. I think he does the college thing just to try it out, see if this is the path he wants. Probably that whole time you got Denzel Washington is like
chirping in your ear.
You're good enough where I hooked you up with an agent.
Yeah.
From Denzel Washington. That's saying a lot, I feel like. So he's probably like, let's give that a shot here. Now we also talk about how difficult this industry is to get into. Early on, had some auditions that didn't go his way. Some notable ones, according to my research here, almost was in Friday Night Lights. Didn't get into Cowboys and Aliens. That actually might have been better for him.
That was probably better for him.
A good one there for him to not be in, as well as The Longest Ride, which I do believe does actually have Scott Eastwood. Yeah. So if you had confused him after I'd said that, I would have given it to you. But no.
Yeah, Friday Night Lights would probably have been a good one. And who knows, maybe Cowboys and Aliens would have been a different movie with him. Maybe it would have been more funny.
I don't know if Daniel Craig can't save that.
But that's not, I wouldn't say that's a Daniel Craig type movie. You're fighting aliens.
Yeah, but Harrison Ford couldn't even save it, man.
Yeah, but maybe Glen Powell could have.
All
Maybe
right.
he could have with that
Maybe
southern
in a
charm.
different maybe in a different alternate timeline. Cowboys and Aliens is a great movie because Glen Powell's in it, and the world is better for it. Good for that universe.
I didn't think it was that bad.
See, I don't remember a lot of it, which
I don't
isn't great
either.
because it's Cowboys and Aliens.
Yeah.
And this movie came out when I was like 13 years old. It was perfect.
Prime time for
It was
Nick.
perfect. Sci-fi and Western. Like, how do you miss on that? Anyways, okay, that's a different conversation. However, I would say the next kind of big milestone for him was 2013. One of the minor roles he gets into is in The Dark Knight Rises. He's one of the brokers in there. You probably recognize him if you watched it now. But what really kind of motivated him after this movie was it was really kind of Christopher Nolan who gave him a lot of validation, gave him a lot of credit and everything like that, getting him into this movie and everything. So, you know, at this point, I want to say, I can't remember exactly when, but I want to say he goes to college like 2007-ish, 2008-ish. He's been at it for about 5 years without really getting any sort of success going here. So you need some pretty big motivation to keep going here, I feel like. But then we jump to the big break. 2018, he gets a starring role in a rom-com called Set It Up, which also starred Zoe Deutsch. And it was after this movie that Glenn said that he was starting to get more and more offers, mainly because he was finally in a starring role. At this point, he had done a lot of minor stuff, side characters, whatever. Here, he was finally able to kind of command the screen a little bit more, and a lot more people started noticing. And one of those offers was Top Gun Maverick. Now, unfortunately, due to COVID, that movie didn't come out right away as everyone hoped to.
Yeah.
So imagine you're in Glen Powell's shoes. Like a lot of the other actors, like Tom Cruise, Miles Teller, they had other things going on. They had already been big at this point, so they could wait. But imagine you're Glen Powell. You're getting this big role. Tom Cruise himself is calling you saying, hey, I want you to be a part of this movie.
I want
you here.
Yeah.
And then he's like, great, I finally made it. And then you got to wait another year and another year and another year after that.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, patience count. I mean, they say good things comes to those who wait, but man,
it was a wild time, and every day felt like a year. That feels like so long ago, but it also feels like just a little bit ago.
Yeah, like I'm trying to think. 2018. That's 8 years.
Yeah,
8 years ago.
long time.
Yeah. So yeah, a lot of people have probably heard this story here. He initially auditioned for the character that Miles Teller ended up getting, but was offered the Hangman role. Almost didn't take it. Was like, I don't know. I kind of want these. I got to start going for these bigger roles here. But again, like I said, it wasn't until Tom Cruise himself directly asked him to take the role. Again, another what if here.
Yep.
I mean, so many of these little moments you see here could have gone one way or the other. Who else do you put in that role here? I don't know. And, you know, does he maybe still figure it out? That's a possibility too. Still going to be harder though. But that is the big moment there. Starts doing bigger and bigger movies. Fun fact, was going to be cast in Jurassic World, the newest one. The one that's got like Scarlett Johansson or whatever.
Oh, yep.
Turned it down.
Good.
Yeah, that was another good one there. What I find this ironic because he does actually already have a connection to the Jurassic franchise, believe it or not.
Oh.
There's an animated kids show called like Camp Cretaceous. Apparently he voiced a character on that for like 14 episodes. I have no idea if they would have actually made that character part of this movie, or if it just would have been a whole different thing.
Yeah.
But I thought that would have been kind of funny.
That would have been funny.
But
that would have been really funny.
Yeah, that's just a couple big moments here. I feel like, yeah, like I said, now he's been just doing more and more. Starting to do a little bit more behind the scenes stuff was part of the script writing process with Hitman, which I think is one of his better films acting wise.
Yeah.
And I think you've said something similar to that before.
Yeah,
too,
Hitman.
So.
Yeah.
But now I'm gonna put you a little to the test here.
All right.
I've got a few trivia questions here just to kind of end it. End it on a little different fun note here.
Let's go.
I just found some random ones that I felt like didn't really fit into the narrative I was going here, but I found interesting. So
all right.
We're not going to do the whole music because I forgot to test that earlier. We're going to start with an easy one here. True or false, Glen Powell has an actual pilot license?
I bet.
That's a real thing.
Correct. I bet he does. I bet he got it for...
This is true. I can't remember if he got it before. I think he actually did get it before Top Gun. But he's a pretty big aviation enthusiast, which also is what led him to doing the movie Devotion later on. Well, he starred in it, but also was an executive producer in it as well, which if you haven't seen that one, that's also a very good one and probably one of his other better films here as well. Here is a little bit more of a weirder one for you. During the filming of Twisters, he famously adopted a terrier poodle mix that he named Brisket. What other more obscure pet does he have? And I could give you multiple choice if you want.
Do multiple choice.
Okay. Is it A, a cobra, B, a monkey, or C, a hedgehog?
I'm going to go with B, a monkey.
That is correct.
Because I'm pretty sure I've seen pictures of it's like got the long arms.
Yeah.
And it's hanging around his neck.
Yeah. Charlie the monkey, I believe, is his name there. So
I think Charlie might grow up to be in a Jordan Peterson movie.
Oh, were you talking about primate? I almost wanted to not give you multiple choice and use that as like a clue or whatever for you, but multiple choice was easier, whatever. Yeah. Last little fun question here. Glen Powell is not an actual blonde. What color hair is he naturally? I also have a multiple choice here for you as well, or you can just guess a color, I suppose.
Well, I guess how many you got? Black, brown, and red.
Those were my multiple choice options. Yeah.
Well, I don't think he can be a redhead because he's got a soul, I think. So it goes to black and brown. I'm gonna go probably brown hair.
That is incorrect.
Oh!
Do you want to guess again, or do you just want me to tell you?
Black hair.
Nope.
Is it red?
It is. From what I've read, he is a natural redhead.
He's a ginger? No way.
Yeah, if you want to call him that, I suppose.
No way.
That's what I read. I got to find some like younger pictures of him probably there, but
I could not imagine him with ginger hair.
It's a hard
it's
thing.
It's not ginger hair. You're a ginger.
Okay, red hair. Sorry, but I could not imagine that. There's no way.
Sorry, I do like gingers though, so I'm sorry for.
Okay, we weren't questioning that until you said that. I feel like
he doesn't like any color of hair because he doesn't like hair because he's jealous.
Maybe. Oh, jeez.
Dang, Carter. I mean,
shots are fired at me. I gotta fire back.
I don't think he was shooting those fires.
No, just in general.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no, that's fair. That's fair. All right, we're just going to let him stew on that, I suppose, a little bit here.
Yeah, so the internet's tricking you.
Maybe it is. I guess I didn't double check that one, I suppose, but I thought that was a good little curveball to throw at you there. But that's just, in general, a little quick rundown here of some of the more important moments, I feel like, of Glen Powell's, let's call it young career here. I got a feeling he's going to be around for a little while here, and I think he's just going to keep getting more and more involved with the industry here. But one last question for you is, which do you think is your favorite Glen Powell movie so far?
That's a good one because I liked him in The Debaters. I liked him. Smaller role. I would say overall movie, obviously it's The Dark Knight, but it's just a tiny role. It's good, but I really enjoyed him in Twisters. I thought he was really good.
Yeah, I think I'd have to go with Hitman just because that was the one I feel like he had the most fun with as an actor.
I agree because he got to dress up. And
you got to put on some fun costumes and do different accents, and it's like you can kind of tell he was an executive. Sometimes you can tell when an actor is an executive producer in the movie because they give them themselves the fun roles.
Yeah, and they get to do wild things that other producers no, we're not putting that in there.
Yeah,
we're not doing that.
Exactly. So, looking forward to this one here, though. But those are our thoughts. Let us know in the comments below which is your favorite Glen Powell movie, and or let us know which actor, actress, director, writer, anyone else you would like us to do a sort of this little deep dive on next. Let us know all that in the comments down below. Hey, we talk a lot about movies on this channel, but sometimes the ones we talk about aren't the most accessible. That's where the Marshall-Lyon County Library comes in handy. They have a great collection of physical media, as well as a couple of online services with many, many options for movies, TV shows, and documentaries. It's easy. Just get your own library card at the Marshall-Lyon County Library, and gain access to their large variety of movies, TV shows, and of course, books. Also, be sure to check back every month as we here at Popcorn Bucket List make specific movie recommendations based on a monthly theme. So head on over to the Marshall-Lyon County Library for some of our favorites and check out the channel to get even more movie recommendations. And now, on with the show! But let's move on here to the weekly preview, talk about all the movies coming out here this weekend, and starting things off is the latest Glen Powell movie here, How to Make a Killing, coming straight to theaters, rated R. Believe it or not, this is a remake of a 1949 sort of dark comedy movie here, where a man who is essentially disowned by his wealthy family decides to get rid of, because I don't know if we could say...
Dispose.
I don't know if we could say the other word on YouTube or whatever, demonetize us, I don't care. But yeah, tries to off his other family members so that he can become the sole heir to a large fortune here. This is another one where I feel like pretty much none of the characters are good characters, and that's how I like it, kind of thing. Nobody's the good guy here.
Yeah. Especially not Topher Grace with the samurai sword.
He's more threatening with the samurai sword than I think he was with the Venom suit.
That's true.
Yeah. He's more dangerous, I feel like. Nobody took him seriously in the Venom suit, let's be honest.
That's true.
Yeah. He's more of a jerk here. He's not the biggest jerk, however, because remember, he played the David Duke guy on Black Klansman. So
yeah.
Not the worst version of him.
That was just, yeah. Yep. We're just down. It's so funny.
Yeah. It's time for another edition of Trying to Incriminate Ryan. Do you think you could go through with some sort of plot like this to get a good payday? You know, okay. Let's assume you don't love your family. Let's assume that. You think you can go forward with this, something like that?
How much money?
I can't remember the exact number, but in this movie, it was something with a B.
Yep.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
We got that on camera, right? We got that recorded?
This is all hypothetical.
It was yes to the billion, not to the answer. But in Minecraft, I don't think I'd be able to. Well, it depends. It sounds like he doesn't know these people.
Yeah, no, I think he has no emotional attachment to these.
Yeah, he's never even met some of them.
Yeah.
So...
yeah, I think the when he does some of the things he does to them, that's the first time they've laid eyes on this guy.
See, you would never know. The only reason things would change would all of a sudden I'd like start arriving in very expensive mopeds here to film. That's how you would know.
It's kind of like that meme of like, I never tell anyone that I won the lottery, but there'd be signs, and it's just like a sandwich with extra toppings on it or something like that or whatever. But yeah. I think this movie looks pretty good overall. It's got that dark comedy aspect I do like here. You do have a pretty good cast, not only Glen Powell and Topher Grace, but you also got Margaret Qualley and Ed Harris as well. So
Ed Harris is awesome.
Yeah, I think this is going to be a good one overall.
I do too.
Also coming out this weekend, I Can Only Imagine 2, also coming straight to theaters. A sequel to the 2018 hit. Talking about 2018 again, how far away that was. This movie continues the based on a true story of a Christian music band that saw a huge success finally in the end of the first movie, and now the band has to deal with the whole new pressures that come with that. I think this is another thing people don't talk about enough here is you make it big. Everything's so much easier, right? Well, not necessarily.
Not necessarily. Why do bands break up?
Yeah, exactly.
Why do big famous bands that just make so much money and all? Why do they break up and have so many issues? Because it's not easy.
If success solved everyone's problems, the Beatles would have never broken up.
Yeah,
I rest my case there. So, do you get a chance?
Yoko Ono broke the Beatles up.
Okay, so yeah, maybe success.
Maybe
does. Maybe success does solve.
But
all
you
the
can't
problems.
have energy vampires. You can't have energy vampires because they will destroy you.
Was that a What We Do in the Shadows reference?
Well, no, it was. I've always heard it from. I read his books. They're good. Becoming better people.
No, I was gonna say I think that's the thing in What We Do in the Shadows is there's like energy vampires too.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure there's energy vampires.
Where they just suck the life. They just suck the life. They don't even touch you. They just gotta stand by.
Energy Bus. That was the name of the book.
Oh,
good bus.
Okay.
Good book.
Did you get a chance to watch this first one at all? I don't remember it. I think I missed this one.
Which one?
I can only imagine it would be one, I guess.
Oh, watch the trailer. Oh, the first one?
Yeah,
oh,
the first movie.
First one's awesome. You didn't see it?
I don't think I did. I don't remember seeing it.
It was good.
Okay. So yeah, like I said, it seems like this is going to be almost directly continuing that story here. And like I said, I do like the fact that it's like, okay, they've sort of made it now, but you know, that doesn't automatically mean things are going to get better for you and easier for you. There's still struggle and all that sort of stuff. So these movies definitely have their fan base, so I expect this one to do pretty good this weekend.
Yeah.
Also coming out, Midwinter Break. Also coming to theaters. This movie shows an older married couple who go on a much-needed trip to Amsterdam. However, while they are there, some not-so-great memories from their past pop back up. I'll admit, this movie trailer started very mellow, started very chill. It was just kind of this nice, quaint little old couple living in Ireland. They're like, hey, we got this surprise trip to Amsterdam. And I thought, oh, it's going to be kind of maybe some hijinks are going to ensue here.
Yeah.
No, this got a little bit more serious towards the end here, I feel like.
I'm curious as to, because there's a lot of Catholic religion symbology going on, so I'm curious as to what happened or what's going to happen.
Yeah, so I did a little research here, it looks like. From what I could tell, some people believe that because there's like some sort of flashback event where something bad happened to this couple when they were younger and all that. And according to some people, it seems like what it's referring to is a real life point in history known as the Troubles of Ireland.
The Troubles.
That's what they called it. The Troubles.
Do you know about that?
I had not actually heard about this before.
I'll tell you about it after this.
I didn't get a chance to really look into this. All I know is this was something that was taking place for like over 30 years.
Yeah, the Troubles, it's fascinating.
Yeah, and if you're just calling it the Troubles.
It's called the Troubles, yeah.
That's, and you don't need any other descriptor?
No.
That seems pretty bad.
Yep.
And that they don't call the Great Depression because things were hunky-dory for everyone there. It's all you really need. So, it turns out this whole story is based off a book of the same name written by an Irish author. So probably going to be some authenticity.
Yeah. And just knowing that this is what it's referring to, I'm 100% more invested in it. Now I really want to see it. Because the Troubles is crazy.
That's just it. Like, this movie really wasn't, or this trailer, I should say, really wasn't doing anything for me. It just seemed like, oh, it's just a vacation movie, older couple, Amsterdam. But yeah, it takes a much more serious turn that really kind of grabbed my attention too, as well.
Because I just remember looking down and looking back up, and it's like, there's guns and people. What?
Yeah, it takes a turn, but it's not even like a dramatic sharp turn. It just kind of is like, oh, all of a sudden, oh, okay, that doesn't look good.
Yeah.
And now, like, the couple's dealing with it. Yeah. And it seems like it was like, well, I feel like the first half of that trailer was specifically kind of all calm and everything, because it's like this couple has suppressed that. They don't bring it up. They don't talk about it. And now all of a sudden is bringing it to the forefront, whether they like it or not. And unfortunately, that just happens sometimes. You could do everything in your power to stop some bad memory or to oppress or repress something. It's going to show its ugly face at some point or another.
Yeah.
So, yeah. I mean, like I said, looks like it might actually be a pretty good little sleeper hit there. So
good.
Also coming out this weekend, This Is Not a Test. Coming also to the theaters here, rated R. This is also based off a book as well here. Not as popular of one, but this shows 5 high school classmates doing everything they can to survive the zombie apocalypse inside their own high school. I would say usually kids would kill to get out of school as soon as possible. Now these ones have to kill to stay.
No! That was a good one.
Right? And it just came right from here.
That was a good one, Nick.
Yeah. I thought you'd like that one.
I did.
I've maybe asked you this question before.
Yes, I could survive a zombie apocalypse.
I don't doubt that, actually. No. I was going to say, what would be your go-to survival location if there was like a place you had to like hold up? That you think you could do good? A
lot of places, it would depend on size, access points, and how good sustainability. Can you get fresh air in there? Can you get water in there? Is it hard? If something happens, how do you fix it? Obviously, like a place like a supermarket has all the food, but it's very big, multiple access points, multiple windows. A school like this, a lot of windows, a lot of doors. Smaller things like besides like the movie theater, cut out the windows in the front. If you could block those off, you got food, you got a lot of water, you got pop, you got stuff sustain you for a little bit till you can figure out a better location or a better place.
Yeah, see, that's kind of what I do like about this idea of the school here is, you have probably large food storage. They got like big walk-in fridges or whatever like that. You could store stuff. But I don't like the multiple entryway things.
The only thing is if you could coordinate it to like, well, okay, they made it into this area. Well, now this hallway and the rest of the school that way, you just can't go in. It's just they can get in and out there.
Or just... I don't know if you do this, but like somehow stay in the second story or whatever. But like I've got my own survival plan locked down, but I'm not going to say it here because I don't want anyone taking it.
Survival plan for zombies?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. For zombie specific, I think it would work very, very well for zombies specifically.
If you what survival plan do you think you're going to have to use first? Whether zombies, global warming, weather, active cameraman. Nuclear.
I mean, if it's nuclear, I feel like we're all screwed, right? Isn't that how the game works?
What's the one you're gonna have to use first? You think of all these situations, is most likely to happen to you?
I've said before, I don't think the zombie apocalypse is at all scary. We'd figure that out so quickly.
Well, look how long it took us to figure out COVID, and we don't even know if it's real. Right?
It's not exactly the same as a zombie apocalypse, but
true.
whatever.
That's true.
I'm talking about like taking on the actual zombies. We'd figure that out. We'd be fine.
Yeah.
Probably the global warming one might be. I say that because that one actually would kind of screw up my plan a little bit of where I'm hiding. Yeah. I don't know if it'd be the perfect place for that one specifically. I don't know. I guess it kind of depends on what sort of weather sort of thing happens. Is it like sunlight all the time, there's no more rain, we're drought, or like there's too much rain? That could throw off my plans a little bit more and more. If it's nuclear, it's nuclear. I feel like we're just donezo. There's nothing I can do.
Just done.
Just gonna ride out the storm.
Yeah, done.
Just gonna ride that one out. Nothing I can do there, I feel like. But so back to this movie here. I got a little bit sidetracked there. Overall, this gives off, I think, a little bit of sort of like a John Hughes high school 80s movie, but with zombies. It's kind of like, hey, what if we did The Breakfast Club with zombies? Maybe. I don't know.
Sounds like an after-school film that I've done. A few of them.
That does sound like it would be a pretty fun short film to do, I feel like. But this one, I feel like it's taking itself a little bit serious here, a little bit more.
Yeah, it's definitely on the serious route.
So, I don't know. What do we think of this one overall?
I'm excited for it. I think it looks good. New zombie movie. It's got the running mechanics from 28 years later, so we'll see how it turns out.
But that is everything coming out here this weekend. Let's move on to some number one recommends. I'll kick us off here. You got some?
No, number one.
Oh, I thought you were trying to like stop me saying that you were saying
number one.
Okay, cool. I got myself listed here first this week, so I'll kick us off here. In the spirit of Winter Olympics, this documentary was released to Netflix recently. I had it recommended to me by someone and thoroughly enjoyed it. It's called Miracle, The Boys of 80. This talks about the Miracle on Ice story, the hockey team that beat the Russians in 1980 Olympics.
The Ruskies.
Yeah, took down the Reds as they were, and just kind of tells a little bit more of the story. Like, I think a lot of people have seen the movie Miracle, and that covers quite a bit of ground. This goes a little bit more in depth. Talks a little bit more about some of these guys' backstories, talks a little bit more about what they were thinking, what they went through during that game, but also, and I think this is more important, spends actually a good bit of time talking about the full story. Because in the Miracle movie, they beat the Russians, and then it kind of cuts to them winning the gold medal. They had to play another game to get to that. And it wasn't like a guaranteed win, but I think they kind of went into it thinking it was a guaranteed win. And then after the first period, they're like, okay, guys, we got to buckle down here. We're like down by 2. Let's lock it in. Let's figure that we did not just beat the toughest team in the world to get silver. Like, that is not how this story is going to end. So minor spoiler there. They get the gold. But I thought it was a very, very good documentary. There's a lot of good information in there. There's a few moments where they kind of talk about things that end up in the movie, and you're like, oh, that actually happened. That's interesting. So just a really good documentary in general. And perfect for Winter Olympics. So
very good.
What do you got this week? What are you recommending?
Well, I'm going to kind of go off of you a little bit. because at my house, we've been watching a ton of the Olympics. So I'm just going to go ahead and nominate the Olympics. They're fun to watch. One thing I've noticed that is a lot of countries' main colors are red and blue. Like, that's pretty common in a lot of places. I like the break it up. Give us some green. Give us more yellow. Give us orange and other colors. But all in all, we've been watching a lot of curling. My wife's been watching the figure skating, skating dance, monosled, bobsled, some skiing, some snowboarding. We've been watching it all. It's my favorite. Shout out to the biathletes. That's the skiing.
That's the skiing, and then they
shooting.
have a sniper rifle, right, or whatever.
Yeah, it's insane. Insane.
Yeah. I always kind of said I was going to watch more of this, but I have not caught really any of it this year. So I do enjoy watching the skiing and shooting and whatever, because there's like some strategy in that. You can like switch your skis or whatever for like a fresher set or something like that. I enjoy that. And yeah, I've seen you guys do curling, and I know that's a pretty good sport
Curling's
too.
fun.
All right, yeah. Winter Olympics. Yeah, very Winter Olympic themed episode here today. But that's going to do it for us here on this episode of Popcorn Bucket List. Be on the lookout next week. We got a chance to film Ryan's Punishment from last year's Oscars watch party. In case you don't know,
I'm still reeling from it right now.
Yeah, you are. I could see it in your eyes. You just, yeah. Well, I can't because your eyes
Thumbnail.
are closed now. Okay. I'm not going to use that for a thumbnail for this video, but I might save it for some other time of like, yeah, okay. Well, if we ever do like a taste challenge, I'll just save that picture for later, I guess. But yeah, we had a chance to film that here. If you want to figure out what that is and some of our reaction to it and everything like that, that will be out next week, Tuesday. I call it Ryan's Punishment. If I'm going to be completely honest, it was also a little bit my punishment. I didn't think that through all the way, if I'm going to be honest there. So to see us both get a little agitated there, be sure to check that out next week. For myself, Ryan, and Carter, we'd like to thank you so much for watching, and we will see you at the movies.
That was my biathlete.
I don't know if you can...
I can do that.
No, you can't, because the NFL will fine you like $10,000.